Very recently, this tweet was actually dropped by a Minecraft game designer / developer / coach known as Henrik. This actually brought me to the realization, not only did the Caves and Cliffs update bring about so many new changes to the world's terrain generation, to the ore generation, to the mobs, but it also changed so much about the world's structures and how they actually look and generate. In this video, we're going to be talking about what Mojang could add as a part of the Minecraft world update, potentially including an all-new docks structure and some changes to the witch hut. Be sure you drop some suggestions down below in the comments, but with that being said, let's get right into it. Now, as I pointed out at the very start of the video, a very interesting tweet was dropped by Henrik, who, as I mentioned, is a legendary developer over at Mojang who we've been following over the past months now. This developer in particular talks so much about the Caves and Cliffs update and kept us up to date with so much of what was being added and changed. Just a very, very awesome developer right here. Now, this tweet was actually made saying, "Good thing the pillar is there, or it would have fallen apart." And in my mind, although many people see this as a joking tweet, although many people just may scroll right past this, I actually found it very interesting because it made me think back to the start of the Caves and Cliffs update and what it was all about. Nowhere as a part of Minecraft Live 2020 did we hear about some of these minute changes Mojang were going to add to things like the abandoned mine shaft. It was just added as a complete side feature. The way they dangle down from the roof on chains and the way they're supported by log pillars, it's just completely awesome. And as I said earlier, although many people may look right past this, it's a very awesome thing that Mojang did not have to change but felt like they had to anyway. Now, this is where things begin to get interesting. This got my mind spinning a little bit about some potential changes we could see Mojang add similarly to this, but for the upcoming Minecraft 1.19 world update. Just in case you do not know, this update is updating, of course, the deep dark, adding the ancient cities. It's also updating the birch forest and the swamp. Now, this one is the most important because there's one structure I'm sure we all know that generates in the swamps of Minecraft, and that is the witch hut. This is a very underrated structure which players have really enjoyed for a very long time now. It's kind of unique and very interesting. Whenever players see one of these generating in the swamps of the game, it just makes people so excited because it's such a rare but yet awesome structure. This got me thinking about some changes Mojang could potentially add to the witch's hut. I think it would be awesome if Mojang added some kind of a dock or maybe like a little area where someone can park up in a boat, because as we know, as a part of the world update, the boat chest is actually being added to the game finally, so there's going to be a big emphasis in this update on boat travel and boat transportation. So I think it would be awesome if Mojang embraced that by adding some kind of maybe like a pier or a little parking area for a boat, like a little bay or something, where a player can actually park up a boat and just use it as a bit of a resting spot, of course, once the witches have been dealt with. This is very similar to what they did with the abandoned mine shafts, in fact, where they did not struggle with the addition of these new caves, but they actually embraced them by making this awesome looking abandoned structure actually hang from the ceiling of these ancient caves. It would have been very easy for Mojang to just make it so that abandoned mine shafts do not spawn in these large areas, which would of course make them much rarer, but instead, as I said, they embraced it, made them spawn hanging from the ceiling of these giant abandoned caves, and it just looks completely awesome. I think it would be be very cool if Mojang did something similar, where maybe they embrace the new swamp and maybe we could get updated witch huts which spawn as a part of a tree house in the new mangrove trees. I've always wanted to see what Mojang could do with maybe like tree structures or tree buildings, and as I just mentioned there, the one witch hut we've got in the game at the moment just kind of spawns in the water around swampy areas. I think it'd be cool if they added land witch huts and witch huts that spawn in trees and maybe hang from trees if they're big enough, or maybe floating above mud blocks. So I think it would be really cool if Mojang embrace the atmosphere of these creepy, murky, abandoned swamps by just making it feel like witches have made this abandoned creepy place their home and have huts absolutely scattered around the entire biome. Maybe they wanted to stay away from the water, so they built huts in the trees. Maybe they wanted to be alone, so they built it in the water. I think it'd be awesome if Mojang really embraced the swamp with this witch hut and just updated a few things about it. Of course, Mojang could also add completely new structures to this, and one of them in particular I would like to see, as I kind of mentioned earlier, would be maybe like a boat's hut or a fisherman's hut or a fisherman's pier or something like that. And the reason this is, as I said, is because of the new boat chest that's being added. Mojang could really create an awesome emphasis on boat travel with the boat chest and things like that, and they could add awesome new structures a bit similar to witch huts, but maybe like a fisherman's hut where you can park near it in your boat with your boat chest, maybe shelter there overnight, use the little pier attached to this structure to fish and get fish. Of course, it would be really awesome if Mojang just embraced the swamp. One final thing I think it would be awesome if they did, if they added houses made out of mud blocks or structures made out of mud blocks. I think it'd add a really awesome backstory to Minecraft swamps. At the minute they're really lacking in this aspect. As we know and as we saw over the past few updates, Mojang are really trying to build up the lore of Minecraft and add a bit more backstory to the world and make it feel a bit more exciting and rich with history. So I think it'd be cool if Mojang did something like this to kind of build up on it and make it feel like an ancient civilization once lived here and made their homes out of mud blocks. But be sure you let me know what you think about all of this down below in the comments. Is this something you're interested in, or do you really not care about this? But as I said, I just found Henrik's tweet right there very interesting, and it made me want to talk about 1.19 and some potential structure updates we could see. Drop your thoughts down below in the comments, everyone. But it's been me, ItzJhief, everyone. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye.